Okay, so I often hear from people, well, but I'm like a red at work and I'm like a blue at home. So how does that work? Well, I don't want you to ever neglect the theory of congruence. It's very important that you live your life congruently. And if you're changing it up all the time, that probably is kind of wearing on who you are as a person. However, that said, there are times when, in fact, life requires us to take on other personality strengths. So if I'm living in a red environment, for example, I'm a police officer, while I may be very caring and compassionate, I also have to call a spade, get done with things, take action on activities. I have to be very direct and immediate in my responses. I can't ponder it or think about it. So, based on whatever activity I'm doing, I may actually take on a different role just because that's required for the actual job. It also has to do with confidence and how well you feel about yourself. Like I think of one woman I worked with who was brilliant in the workforce. I mean, brilliant. She was red and brilliant at what she did. At home, she was an abuse victim. And I said, how does that work? She goes, I have no confidence in myself there, but I have great confidence in myself at work. The other thing is that sometimes people take on a color to fit a culture that is not in their best interest. Be careful if you are doing something for a dirty motive. For example, if I'm keeping a job because I need it to pay the bills, but I'm actually killing myself in the process, I am not going to live long. It's not going to work well, and the quality of life I enjoy will be horrendous. The other factor is maybe my children or my wife or my husband suffer because I'm allowing an environment that's negative, a toxic place, to control who I am and cause me to become something I shouldn't be. It's very sad sometimes when you see how people change a color for a negative motive versus those who actually embrace the positive traits of a color for a good reason. So, for example, as a therapist, I am very focused and devoted to the client when I'm with them. Nothing else takes priority. No phone calls, no interruptions of any kind for that 45 minutes. That's a blue trait I have put into my very yellow personality. I listen much more intently with focus when I'm a therapist, but I'm not a blue. But there are many clients that will think that I'm blue in that moment because I am so willing to go to that depth of caring that a blue does. So sometimes it's a good thing to do, take on those traits for a positive reason, but you always have to remember to be true to who you are as an individual. If you give that up, for example, if I give up being yellow to be a therapist, I'm going to kill myself in the process. That's not worth it. So look at the prices, think about the congruence, the concept of am I true to myself or am I not, and what it's doing to me to take on the color that I'm taking on in a various different environments. The other thing I want to share with you is where you like yourself best should tell you something about how that environment is impacting you. If it's making you feel better about yourself, embrace it. Add new dimensions for it. If it's making you not value who you are as much, you ought to question whether you should stay there long term, whether it's home or work. So how did you like today's video? Thumbs up, thumbs down. What are your thoughts? We'd love to hear your comments. We'd love you to subscribe. We'll be uploading 2 to 3 times a week, so we'd like to be part of that with us. It would also like you to look at our website, taylorhartman.com, taylorhartman.com. And we'd love you to stay current with us. Please ask your questions that you'd like me to respond to. Happy to do that. We're going to have a lot of fun together. Thanks for today.